Welcome in for another episode from the Critics Collective. I am the Dad Panther, writing streamer, content creator, master of none, and today it is all about Gino, gorgeous Gino. We're going to continue our series, not necessarily a deep dive, just me basically conversating about each episode in the series that is The Dark Side of the Ring. Now, we're still in the first season. We've talked about Brody, we've talked about the Von Erichs, we've talked about Brett and Sean and the Montreal screw job that Vince set up. And right now we're on episode 5, The Mysterious Death of Gorgeous Gino. IMDb says this: for 30 years, the family of wrestling star Gino Hernandez believed his tragic death was a drug-related murder, starting new revelations that are revealed from the still grieving mother. That is, we're going to get into this. So for this one, hit the subscribe button, like, follow, comment for more. The road to 1 million continues. Now, I will say, I did not know who Gino was, and I enjoy that this about the show. They're showcasing stories and wrestlers and other wrestlers that I don't know. And when I say other wrestlers, I mean they focus on one wrestler, Gino, but then they're going to show you other wrestlers or other promoters or other people in the background that I didn't know. And you start to see in other episodes how they're connected, like Brody and the Von Erichs, and things kind of blur together. The art, like I mentioned before on the previous ones. And we're going to talk about the Fabulous Moolah and other ones. So we'll continue to go through it. Now, I want to say from the editor floor, I did make an error in the last episode. I did. If you're watching these in orders, when I was talking about the Von Erichs, I did mention the hair versus hair match. That happens, I believe, in this episode with Gino with the Von Erichs. Again, they're doing a great job of telling this linear story that you can watch really in any order that you want to, but that's on me. My bad. With that being said, going into the highs and lows, the lows for this is unfortunately not knowing, like they said, the mother for 30 years. She's in her 70s at this point, not knowing if it's a hit on her son or if it was just a bad night of drugs, bad choices that were made, and hearing the conversation of the people around kind of saying that as well. So you didn't know if it's fear or your own thing. And can you imagine living with that for 30 years for those friends and families? Some people gave bad news in a poor way. I didn't see this often. This just stuck out to me. But the phone call when Gino dies, that phone call was like, he called the mom and it's like, hey, and the mom's like, hey, did you find my son? Did you? And he's like, I'm in your son's apartment or condo. Okay, cool. Did you, figure out the money? Did you da da da? He's dead. Click, and hung up. That was it. I'm like, and that was a person who knew Gino and knew the mom, and like that's how you. And then the person that was there, he didn't say, I didn't say it like that. I said, I'm so sorry, and I cried. And it just seemed like the person was like, yo, I just lost fucking money on this guy. Click. I don't know. So that to me was something there. The thing that's sad is drugs, 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 more drugs, women, and drugs. Man, it's rough. It seems like I think it's going to be an ongoing thing with this. There's a movie called The Wrestler, I believe. I can't remember who plays in it. Go ahead and put in the comments. I might just watch that again and review it. It's You don't see that part of the limelight. I mean, you got a limelight and you got the shadows that follow. So that's just what that was. The hair match. If you're curious how I felt about the hair match, go watch the previous video with the Von Erichs. I mentioned it there, but you had the hair match that they mentioned in this one. So what we'll do is, before I rate it, I will say again, I didn't know who Gino was. My dad didn't mention Gino. Um, his style came off as I want to say, I don't want to say Ric Flair, but like Ric Flair or Cody Rhodes, the Nightmare, the Ted DiBiase. It was JBL. I'm a wrestling god. I'm a wrestling god. Um, where it's that gimmick of fame and fortune and the ladies and ooh, first class jets, high flying, stealing, willing, Dillon, son of a. Woo. It was that before that, if that makes sense. So take that for what you want. Now let's go ahead and rate this. We rate here from a 0 to a 5, and we've got some 5s up there. We got some 4s in there. Man, I was going to, I said I wouldn't go this low on the series because I couldn't see me going this low on the series. I've watched this whole series, but I'm watching it again, and this will probably be the lowest episode for me in the series. I just did not feel connected to the character or the actor or the family. Not a negative way. It's nothing against them. It's nothing against the direction of it. Just it was shot well. It's some of the same things they do. They use lookalikes to reenact kind of what's happening. They do a really good job with the interviews and how they sit down and figure stuff out. It just, for some reason, on this one, I just didn't feel connected to it. For whatever the reason is, I'm going to give it a 2. I'm going to give it a 2. Again, it's not against the family, not against the wrestler and how it was put together. Just something about this story did not connect to me. And if I could really pin it on something, I mentioned it before, if I haven't in previous videos, is to talk about the achievements of the wrestlers, like cemented in. And what I mean by that is they do mention wins, they do mention popularity, they do mention, that he was known around the town and you couldn't go anywhere without people wanting to shake his hand or the ladies rub on his body. But show how many wins and championships and those type of things and what they've done for pop culture, for someone like me to sit back who's new to this wrestler, to sit back and say, man, I didn't know that. I got to go do some homework or put some respect on my name. And I just felt like by the time you got into the drug mafia part of it, um, it didn't have that execution of a true crime. It is not to say that it was trying to go that way, but that's what I felt with episode 3, the killer of Bruiser Brody. Was I wasn't expecting this, and this is what I got. Oh wow! And so that, yeah, that's just how I feel. Again, 100 likes. I had to buy a championship belt, and I got to figure out what to do with that belt. I have to sneak it into the house, or do I just wear it on my shoulder, walk inside the house, and then I just go ahead and put that one finger in the air. Now, when I do it, my daughter does it. My wife thinks it's hilarious because she doesn't watch wrestling. She doesn't know what's going on. But my daughter and my son, I will literally, and they'll be like, he's the head of the table. Okay? Tribal chief. Until next time, go like a loud.